how are you?
Oh, Mike, how's it going, man? Doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Welcome, everybody, to Game 26 of the Real Racquetball Show. We appreciate you taking time to tune in. We think we have a really cool show coming up. Some neat guests. A lot of things going on in racquetball right now.
Yeah.
Some of it's really great, and others we're struggling with because of COVID, but a lot of things moving and shaking in racquetball. So what else happened in your end of the world with racquetball?
With racquetball, well, rocking this fantastic jumpsuit.
Love the jacket.
It's pretty. I love this jacket. I think I might purchase a couple. Yeah, I really like this jacket. I've debuted in the hood, but I'm not gonna do it on stream. When you see me in person, I'll flip it for you. I can't say I've been on the court a lot. I've just been hanging out with my daughter, man. That's all I've been doing. How about yourself?
I've not been on a court yet. I've seriously thought about it. I'm working on getting back there. Need to get back in shape a little bit before I get on there and hurt myself.
Okay. Yeah, I should keep like a long total of how many times I've asked Mike how many times he's gonna get on the court. I might just post something right there and just link it every time.
Well, probably not necessary. And speaking of racquetball, we want to offer everybody a happy National Racquetball Month, and congratulations to everybody on February, made it to January. We're into the year, made it through the new year part of it. So February, National Racquetball Month. So fantastic. We have a new logo we designed for National Racquetball Month and a promotion going on that we really want people to take advantage of. So to win, enter to win, you post a photograph of yourself or someone that's brought someone new onto a court. Teach somebody new how to play the game. Junior, adult, doesn't matter. It can be somebody in your family that doesn't play. Bring them on a court, just teach them how to play. Take a picture of it, post it on Facebook or Instagram, and use the hashtag #RBallMonth, and you'll win a prize from the IRT, LPRT, Forma Flow, and Gearbox. And we have more prizes coming in. So our goal is to give away a whole lot of different items to those people that are introducing the game to someone new, and hashtag it with hashtag RBALLMONTH, RBall Month. And we're going to run that through February, all of National Racquetball Month. So get somebody new on a court. All right. Really cool.
Speaking of that,
it's going to be a fun thing to get people to try and do. So you can enter as many times as you want. So if you teach 100 people how to play, you can have 100 entries in the drawing.
I mean, if you get 100 people to play, you might get nominated for Real Racquetball Champion, which we still need. Everybody, if you know anybody out there who, nice segue, right? Anybody out there who teaches, who plays, coaches, who just sets up events, who tries to have events, runs events, anyone who, dedicates a significant amount of time or just a portion of time that's impacted you, send their nomination in. We can review it and potentially reward that person. I'm not going to say this is going to happen, but potentially if you can get Mike Wedel on the court, I'll personally nominate you for Real Racquetball Champion, because it's just been a while. So if you got any nominations, please send them to cshane@usaracquetball.com. If you can't remember that, you can send them to me, you can send them to Mike, you can send them to anybody. But please, we love recognizing people who do things to help grow the sport of racquetball or inspire others or anything that deals with it. So please nominate those people, ask someone about those people or anything, please.
Absolutely. Fantastic. It's a great award, and we just love having them on the show and recognizing what they're doing. Something else that's kind of new, we've started a new feature in the newsletter. I believe last month was the first one. It's the Junior of the Month segment in the newsletter. And we want people that are working with juniors, around juniors a lot. If you have someone that really seems like an inspiration, that's working to get other juniors involved, or just has really dedicated a lot of time to play, please send that individual's idea to me. My email address is mwedel@usaracquetball.com. You can send it to cshane at usaracquetball.com. We just want to know, and if you want to do a quick write-up about it, if you know who this individual is, write up a short article. Doesn't have to be long. Write up a short article about what they're doing, send us a picture, and it will probably make its way into the newsletter. So it's one of those really cool features that we're going to try and promote all over the country and get some of the juniors that are doing well and enjoying the game. They don't have to be a star at it. We just want somebody that's really enjoying playing racquetball and feature an article about them and get them in the newsletter. We think it will help inspire them to play and their friends to play.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have my picture in the magazine. What? Me and my brothers?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Right?
All right.
That's a cool feature.
Yep, it's a new segment we started last month. Great feature. If you haven't seen it, go to the website, look at the newsletter, and there's a neat feature in there on the Junior of the Month last month.
Yeah.
All right, and our first real in-depth topic. We're going to talk about some of the IRF changes. A lot of stuff said around social media about it, a lot of discussion about it, and there's a lot of things that people just don't completely understand about what the changes mean to racquetball in the U.S. and specifically about the amateurs. I mean, USA Racquetball is an amateur organization, so some of the changes, and all of these changes are international. The changes the IRF make impact the international game. Mm-hmm. So international competitions, juniors, adults, those types of things. So the junior age is they're raising the age limit to 21. So if you're 21 and under, and for international and national qualifiers, that it's that age as of January 1st. It's really interesting. So as if you know what it is January 1st, that's the important. So if they turn 22 on January 2nd, they still qualify to play international play at 21 years old that year. Really kind of cool. So, but it does, we're junior nationals, those type of things. For if it's qualifying for the Team USA, it has the same qualifications. So this year's junior nationals will be 21 and under. Really kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, you give the players, especially if through COVID, they might have lost some eligibility, you give them a couple extra years to be able to play.
And something that USA Racquetball is doing really quick. I don't think it's happened quite yet, but in the next few days, we are raising our junior membership age to 21. So anyone that's 18, 19 years old will now be able to buy a junior membership for the same price. I think it's $35, I think. To 30 or 35, but it's the same as the price is the same as it's always been. We're just raising the age limit up to 21. So those juniors that play a lot, that don't go on to play in collegiates, because the college membership is the same as a junior membership cost. So now anybody at that age group will be able to buy a junior membership and compete up until they age out to 22. We think that'll help keep juniors involved in the game a little bit better.
Save a bit of money, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if we can save them some money, keep them on the court, it's got to be good for the game.
Yeah.
So the next one is rally scoring. It's probably had the most attention. International competition is going to change to rally scoring. The best 3 out of 5. First 4 games are to 15, win by 1. If there's a 5th game needed, it's to 11, and you win by 2. But this is only for international play. Okay, so the amateurs for USA Racquetball sanctioned events, we have no intentions at this time of changing our scoring system. It's 2 games 15, tiebreaker 11, the way it's always been. Well, since it changed from 21. So we have no intentions of changing that. It won't have any effect on the amateur play, whether it's a national championship or otherwise. The only divisions that will change are the U.S. team qualifier. Because we want the individuals to qualify to play in international competition on Team USA the same exact way they would play that international play. That way you know you're getting the best player that knows that system, can utilize those point systems. Because you've competed for Team USA before. What do you think? What does that do for you?
It definitely changes. I'm more of a slow starter for sure. So, I might give up a couple points and then start to get into my groove as the match is going on. And so for me, rally scoring technically affects me because now every point that I give my opponent or I skip or whatever, they're now building their lead a lot quicker. also, you have some matches where it might go back and forth for a while. So they're both scoring points, and so it's who's gonna react to the pressure positively or negatively and be able to break that bind, right? And in the fifth game, if that's a close game, win by 2, you never know. I think in doubles, it's going to be the most interesting to see because you've got 4 sets of players or 2 sets of players that now have to serve the ball.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to affect me personally, or is it hard? Is it hard to train for it? No, not for me, right? Like it's not hard. You just go in there and say, okay, every point someone scores a rally, all right, and then now you could say, well, what if a person's got a dominant serve? Okay, find a way to beat it, right? Like it is what it is. Like it's racquetball. Like if we're competing at the highest level, what if we go to national competition and someone's got a dominant serve?
Exactly.
It just is what it is. So I'm in agreement for changing it for international play, because you want the players to be able to practice it in a high competitive setting if that's where they're going to be competing. I'm all for it. I'm cool with it.
I think it's going to be interesting. I'm anxious to see. As you said, doubles is going to be interesting. Because you could actually win the game without serving if it's 13.
It has to be what, 13-14? Yeah.
If it's 13-13, you could win the game without serving because the first server sides
right.
half. It's now 14-13. You second one does it. It's 15-13. You won the game.
Wow. I didn't think of that. That's
Isn't it interesting? So it's going to change a lot of aspects in it. So I'm anxious to see what it does. But their motivation in that is they're trying to shorten the days of the tournament up. A racquetball tournament international is like 5-6 days. So they're trying to figure out ways to shorten that up so that they're able to put racquetball in more international competitions. Because right now it's so expensive to host. There's so many days, and they pay referees, they pay a lot of people. It's very expensive.
I was
going to say to 3 days, maybe 4 days. They've got a lot of discussion. They've really researched this hard. Maybe we can squeeze it into more competitions.
Yeah,
we don't want them eliminating racquetball internationally. So that's one of their reasons. And some of it's the streaming. They want to shorten up the matches so they can stream differently. But the keeping it in international competition is really important. We want to be in the Pan Am Games because if racquetball stops being in some of those international competitions, there is the Team USA aspect diminishes a lot. We really don't want that to happen. So it'll be interesting. The next one, of course, they're adding mixed doubles in international competition.
I love that. Yeah, that's heck yeah.
I think it's cool.
Mixed is my favorite division. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. So we're going to add mixed doubles to the qualifying, even though they haven't officially added it to all of the international competitions. We want to be ready for it when they do. So we're going to have that in. But I think it adds a really intriguing aspect because if there are 3 divisions that you can enter in, say, Pan Am's, well, you're not going to play in 3 divisions typically.
And that's what I was going to wait till you finish. Be like, interesting to see how teams become built. Do you send more players to help alleviate the stress, especially now because you're playing rally scoring, which, okay, you can say, well, we play quicker games, our games are over quicker, but you're still playing, and it's round robin qualifying, right? So you're playing matches. It's not one and done. How do you now build your team? Do we go to national doubles and singles and play singles, doubles, mixed, or how do you divvy it up? It's going to be cool to see.
It changes strategy a little bit in it. So, and I think that's interesting. I like mixed doubles. I think it's a dynamic that I personally don't care to play it much, but I love to watch it at the top level because the athletes are just so amazing, and the dynamics of it's just phenomenal. It's very entertaining part of racquetball. So I think it's going to be neat. I expect to have some really interesting matches in national doubles and singles in Texas because that we will offer that there as a qualifying division. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. The
last one that they've changed, of course, is the appeals. And I think that one changes the game a lot also because in international, and again, it's just not an amateur play. It's not in even the IRT, LPRT. They'll do what they decide to do. But in all amateurs, it's staying the same as it's always been. In international play, when you appeal something, when you raise your hand because you think a serve is short, and now, players raise their hand just to mark the time when they think something was happening. Then after the rally's over, they tell the ref, I want to appeal the serve because I think it was short. Well, now you stop. When you raise your hand, the play stops. The referee then has the authority. A point will be awarded if he says, nope, the serve was good. You lose a point. Doesn't matter what happens after that. If he agrees that the serve was short, then they serve another one.
So then,
would
that be bad would it be bad refereeing because a ref stopped it to say it was good? Like, I guess it would be if the serve was good and you think it's short and you raise your hand and stop.
Yep. And
if the serve was good, then the ref shouldn't stop it.
Well,
because then you're right. The server could be like, well, no, I thought it was good and I appeal.
Right.
Yeah, then you would get an ace. You're right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's really going to change the way the game's played, because you've got to really be sure.
Yeah, if you want to
do this. Wow. Because if you appeal it and they say, no, that was a good serve, then the point counts for the server.
This is going to be
interesting. And of course, they've tried this in small ways. But I think once it gets into real competition and it gets to a real test is when we'll see kind of what it means. How does this all work? Because there are nuances about it that to me don't make complete sense yet. That to me, it'd be really hard to enforce that or do that, to imply that rule if you're not using line judges. So in international competition, the early rounds, it's just the ref and that's it. Well, if the ref didn't call it short, don't appeal it because he's the one that said it wasn't short. Right?
Well, if there's no line judge, you can't appeal anyway.
Right. So raising your hand because you think the serve was short,
you just keep playing.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm anxious to see more about it. Of course, this is new. They don't have all of the details out quite yet. My guess is they've had a lot of questions asked about it, and I'm anxious to see more details about how this plays out in real world when they actually start using it. But big thing is, it is not going to apply in amateur play. We are not changing these rules in amateur. It's international only. Okay.
Okay.
So if you're not competing for Team USA, don't worry about it. It'll be entertaining. Trust me. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get in. We got a couple guests we want to bring in. We got some really fun topics to talk about.
Okay.
And the next one up is the USA Racquetball's national championship dates and such.
Okay.
So everybody knows we had to postpone doubles. Tempe closed down put mask mandate in. We're not going to compete with masks on. So the only thing we could do is postpone that.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's already heard. We've got the site. It's on. We haven't turned the site on yet, but you can see it. It's advertised. I'm just tweaking a couple little things about it. We had to make some changes by combining doubles into it. We need to expand our hotel block a little bit. We don't want to short people on the block. So we're making a couple new contracts. The site's 95% built. I will have it up sometime this week. But it's May 25th through the 29th in College Station, Texas. It's at the home of A&M University. It is a phenomenal venue. You really want to be there. This is neat. And the host hotel's across the street. A&M's football stadium is across the parking lot. And this is a really neat location. We have 12 courts, glass back, 2 of them glass side, glass back. So we'll set those streaming courts, and we will stream the men's and women's team qualifying on those 2 courts. It is when I went there a couple years ago, because when I went a couple years ago, our plan was we were going to move singles there before COVID hit. And of course, COVID's kept us out of it. So we're combining singles and doubles is just going to make this a really big event. We're looking to get, 300-400 people there. Even with COVID, we think we can get a lot of people in there. 12 courts, all in one facility. So come and check it out. You're going to see a lot of pictures Connor is going to College Station again week after next. He's going to take a lot of videos and pictures we'll post on social media, so you'll get to see what the venue's like. A lot of open space. It's really pretty.
Okay.
Richard Eisman, it's a beautiful facility. I completely agree. When I was there, I was blown away that that's where tournaments should be held. The next event we have, the next one up is National High Schools, March 2nd through the 6th. And we have a special guest that's going to come on and talk to us a little bit about high schools. And if we can bring on Dan Whitley. He is, as you know, one of the big wigs in St. Louis.
Hey guys,
high school racquetball. Welcome on, Dan.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you taking time to come on and talk with us a little bit about what VET is doing with the high schools. And I know you guys have been working on it since we pretty much put it in stone that this is going to happen. We are not letting COVID take this away.
I feel like the road to this tournament's been like 18 months in the making. When you look back to like August of 20, when we were trying to figure out how to get, maintain the kids in our program for the 2021 season. And I don't know. I think when we look ahead to March 2nd through 6th, it's only a month away. And just kind of give a little background on the details of the event. We're going to be at two clubs, Veta West and Veta Concord, 16 courts between the two, complete hospitality. You'll have all the meals, just anything, for the teams that have come in the past. They can expect the same standards as past years in terms of hospitality in St. Louis. And if you've never been, it's just great. We have a person who comes in and makes all the food and does it all on site. And it's just everything you could think of. And it's not like there's just little meal windows. You can eat during the event, and it's a great social opportunity for the kids. And when we started looking at this tournament a year ago in Missouri, we had our high school program. And last year, the kids played the entire season. We had almost 600 kids in Missouri playing last year. We couldn't host nationals. We couldn't even have tournaments at some point during the year, but the kids were allowed to play, but they wore masks all year. The parents weren't allowed to watch them play until we had our state tournament. We were allowed to have a state tournament one day before the state tournament was going to begin. So it was just like things were changing fluid. This year, we've had, in the state of Missouri, we've had 8 tournaments the last 13 weeks. And we've had, the kids playing all year. We're at 600 kids again. So the kids who tried it last year when they couldn't play other sports liked it and stuck with it. And that's great. And then, that's that paints the Missouri picture a little bit. I'm talking to folks from Oregon. Missouri and Oregon alternate hosting high school nationals every year. And, both the coaches in Missouri, who obviously would like to have it because they've been playing all year, the coaches in Oregon want to as well. There's a lot behind this. When you really think about losing that 1 year, if it's in St. Louis this year, next year it'll be in Oregon. It's really critical to have it so that we can have kids play in a high school nationals. One, you have your juniors and seniors who want to have that final home moment or away moment to travel and a crack at a medal or a team title. And then you want those freshmen and sophomores to be exposed to the sport because it's a really inclusive event, and have them have a chance to play. So they will want to travel and be the players of tomorrow who are the juniors and seniors who do well. So when we started talking about a month ago, are we going to do this or not? Because there's no reason to think that we can't pull this off in Missouri. It became an absolute from everybody who was involved in the discussion, because even if we just have 50% of like the normal 400 entrants, that's 200. And I think we'll be closer to 300 entrants. And that's a pretty meaningful for a national championship. I heard you referencing that on some of the other events. And if you compare this to like the NCAA Final Four tournament for basketball, we're still going to have the best teams in the country competing in this. We might just not have that full 64 field. So I really think the folks who are going to win national titles will have that chance, and they'll have to go through some tough competition to be there. It just might not be as large a field as in past years, because whether you look at the boys team title, the girls team title, or the overall team title, the folks that are the top contenders for those team titles will be there. And hopefully we see the same show up for the individual divisions as well. Yeah. So I kind of rambled on a bunch of stuff there, but I just wanted to everybody's so excited that we can have this, and we're excited that we are able to have this too. So it's real now, and it hasn't felt real for a while, but now we're 4 weeks from now it'll be over. That's kind of funny to think about.
It really does. And one of the things that really struck me in some of the meetings, as you mentioned, we've had a couple of different meetings with the heads of the Oregon programs, because we wanted to get all the biggest programs kind of on a call and talk through, is it safe for them to travel? Will they be able to travel? Will the schools allow them to travel? And there are some questions that most people don't look at in this, is that since it's a kind of a school competition, some of the schools can say, no, you're not traveling. You can't do this. Well, what really struck me in those meetings was everybody was just absolutely adamant. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. You've got to have this tournament. And that just, that excited me, that there was that much passion in it, that nobody was saying, well, look, COVID's just too hard. This is too tough. We just can't do this. No, there was none of that. It was everybody. I mean, they were like hitting the table. We're doing this.
There were a lot of descriptive phrases and statements made in those meetings, and I think everyone was really emphatic about having it. Even the schools that cannot attend for whatever reason, or the players who cannot attend, were like, you better have it, because I want it next year when I can attend, and I want the competition to still be there, and I want people to play this year to make sure that they come next year. And I mean, it was, if you look at Oregon too, I'll share this as an aside, their program has shrunk a bit this year due to COVID. They've played their season. Last year they didn't have a season. This year they played their season in masks, and they just had their state championships, and parents were able to come and observe it in just certain numbers. It was like they even kind of, would only permit so many adults, but they had it, and it was successful, and the kids enjoyed it. And it's just, and as a side note, I'm sort of organizing a bunch of Missouri coaches to help some of the Oregon coaches in the off season in terms of recruitment, to help get their program back up so that we can help next year's, because we just have such a strong ties back and forth between the two communities. And the stuff and the programs that we help utilize to get Oregon rolling this summer into next fall, we will share with everybody too, because that's part of an ongoing thing that I've been trying to prioritize over the last 2 years relative to some other things, but COVID's just beat us up, and we've had to create new programs and other things that are just situational. So really excited to see some of this stuff finally come to fruition.
Yeah. Well, it's really exciting, and I loved the passion from the coaches and the people leading all the different areas. So, and really why we talk mainly about the Missouri and Oregon programs. There's a lot of other high school students across the country that will be there, and we absolutely want to make sure that they're able to make it. So anything that they need, we might be able to provide. Reach out to us, but we talk mainly to the Oregon and St. Louis people, because if they can make it, there's competition for everybody to come and join. Where if one of those two big entities can't make it to the championship, it really changes the dynamic of the event. So I was thrilled when it was so adamant that everybody that will be there, and you better have courts for us. So it was fun.
I want to share another aside. In 2020, this was the last championship. We were in Oregon. It was the last championship before COVID hit. And right before we wrapped up the closing ceremonies, we had all the kids go on the main court at Multnomah Athletic Club in Oregon. And some pictures were taken of this court filled with kids. And I remember a couple months later, when I'm at home and clubs are closed everywhere, I was pulling up pictures of that tournament. I don't know if I was just a glutton for punishment that day to look at memories of all that stuff, but I saw these pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh. And there's one picture, and I think it's been published and seen, but it shows the court filled with kids. Kids are jumping up and down. There's like some stuffed animal thrown in the air. And it's just this melting pot of kids from different parts of the country all together on one court enjoying racquetball. Yeah. And I think it was like May of 20 that I saw this, and I'm like, well, that's my goal. And I think this tournament gets us that much closer to being on that court in 23 in Oregon to take that next picture. And I think that's the goal on all of this, is to make sure that we can get, a bunch of kids from around the country playing racquetball. And, the thing that's actually funny when you think about it is it could become, there's going to be very few kids who are in both pictures.
Right.
And that's why it's important we have this tournament,
Yeah.
because we have to keep these kids engaged, because it's all about role modeling it and modeling the behavior to get these kids as part of a rhythm to keep playing. So I could talk on this forever. I don't want to get my phone blown up from Mike Coulter telling me to shut up and that he's got his segment. So I don't know what else there. What else I could say, but I encourage anybody who's considering coming to give it a shot. We're centrally located, and it's going to be a great experience here in St. Louis for everybody.
Good.
Yeah, the first high school championship I ever attended was in St. Louis, and I was blown away. It was nothing like what I thought it was going to be. There was so much team spirit, and they were cheering for each other, and it was a team competition that was just phenomenal to experience. So anybody that's in the area that just wants to come by and see it, that can inspire some other kids to play, it is a contagious environment. I understand how it is your program has grown to be as large as it is, and tell everybody that I think is really intriguing. Every time we talk about high schools, how many athletes you had in your championship, and how many you have in your league? High school students.
We have 600 kids in our program at this time, and it's ridiculous. Last year we cleared 550, and I thought, what the heck? And I thought, a lot of these kids probably had a horrible experience because their eye guards fogged up. They've never played before. They're wearing a mask. Sometimes they can't. I mean, they just can't see. Just think about it. It's miserable. And they came back, and I mean, it's so much more than a game. It's social, and it's engaging. And I saw it here in the chat too. I think Connor flagged it for us, but when I was watching the opening montage for the show, I saw not the exact picture that I have, but pictures from that event of the kids. So everybody rewatch this whole episode and watch that montage and see it. But it's, those 600 kids, I mean, and I don't know, I don't want to, I could ramble on it all night, but we have 57 coaches in our high school program. And of those, 40 something have gone through the program. Wow. So people, it means that much to so many that they want to give back. Yeah. And I don't know. It's pretty special.
Yeah.
It means you're doing a great job, Dan. So those 57 people are doing the brunt of it. I mean, it's really cool. And all those kids are too. They're recruiting their friends. This is an army. It's nice of you to say, but I mean, I could say that about all those people. It's really cool. That's really cool. I'm so glad you came on, because I think that's what people want to hear. They want to know that the youth in if not across the country, at least in parts are it's growing and expanding. So that's really great to hear. So, all right.
Well, thanks for having me.
Before we let Dan go.
It. No, I mean, he gave as much. I was sitting here soaking it up. I was like,
Maurice, you've seen it. You came to an IRT stop years ago when we had 400 kids playing the same stop.
I was thinking about it was an IRT stop. I think it was 2015. I think you had the state championships that year, and the tournament was just for pros and just for the schoolers. Came out, me and Troy did the clinic. First of all, Dan got me in at the last minute, drove 12 hours, 16, however it was to Missouri. And first IRT tournament, he got me in. That's how we first met. And you had to see it to believe how many kids. Being a junior, right? I started at 6. Right, but we never had a high school program or any type of racquetball program. My dad taught my brothers and I how to play, right? And so to be able to go there and then do a clinic and just to see the passion of the kids, right? Like you said, they all had their friends there, and it's like, what in the world? Why can't we spread? And that's why when you see me say like 600 kids, like that's crazy to me, right? Like. Just the fun camaraderie and competition that was going on, right? Yeah, we want to win or whatever, but it's friendly competition, right? Okay, is we play, but hey, let's go watch such and such that's about to play on this court, or they're supporting their friends. It was wild. 3 courts for children? Like, what do we do? Like, what? Or three clubs, excuse me, like just for juniors, right? Like these are kids. Like that's why I like to play the sport. Like you say, the coaches who went through the program and give back. I play, so hopefully, potentially, someone who sees me play is like, hey, first of all, that kid looks like he's still in high school. How does he play this well, right? Like, why is he playing? Like, how does he do it? Oh, he's having so much fun. Wait, I can go talk to him. Yeah, you can come talk to me. Like, it's the best sport in the world. You can be physically fit, you can play it forever, and you meet so many people from it, right? Like, and I think, like you say, that's why people want high schools to happen, because you build relationships and bonds through it that you can have for a lifetime. You know, and you never forget it. Even if you don't play, which hopefully we do, you just never forget that experience. And hopefully you get your children to play it. And that's why if you ever do it again, heck yeah, I'm going. You know, it was that much fun. It was freaking awesome.
Well, that's great. I love that. And everybody I talk to that's been to high schools, that's the reaction they have when they see the team spirit and the enthusiasm. It's contagious. So
no, and that's the other thing. If you're in the Midwest and want to come watch, come watch.
Please go.
Until you've seen it, you won't believe it.
Yeah.
The streaming won't do it justice. It'll do the on-court folks justice, but the culture and the atmosphere of all these kids in a building for racquetball is crazy. So anyway.
All right. Well, Dan, we really appreciate it again. Appreciate you coming on. Love the enthusiasm, and we can't wait to get to St. Louis in a few weeks and celebrate all these kids playing racquetball from all over the country. All right.
All right.
Really.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Dan. How good is that?
Yeah, man, that's it's so much fun. Like you said, if anyone can, please just go watch it.
It will give you faith that there are still kids playing racquetball, and it's growing. Like you said, it went from 550 to 600 plus in a pretty short amount of time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the other events we have, of course, there's collegiates coming up. Intercollegiates are March 26th through March 23rd through the 26th in Tucson, Arizona. So everybody put that on your calendar. College students team, get ready to go. So we'll have the other dates and locations announced here shortly. A lot of things working right now. All right, real quick, we are going to do the trivia, and I want to check and make sure I have the exact answer. So we're giving away a hat again. We've given away several of these already for racquetball trivia. And since our next guest is going to be on, both of our next guests are going to be on to talk about war racquetball, outdoor racquetball, and what's going on with that in the world. The trivia question has to do with the next outdoor big event. So the question is, put your comment, answer it in the comment section, and the first one to type it in, I'll ship you the hat. When was the first beach bash? What year was the first beach bash held? That means it was called Beach Bash. So if anybody knows, type it in, make a guess. It'll all be good. So we are going to, while we're working on that, we are going to let our new guests come in. Jim, you're close, but no cigar. Okay, if we can bring on our next two guests, we have our special guests. Everybody knows Mike Coulter and TJ. Mike, welcome to the show. TJ.
What's up, Mike? Hey, TJ.
All right.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Mike.
And girls.
Hello, hey, Maurice. Mike and Mike.
Welcome to the Real Racquetball Show. And really appreciate both of you taking some time to come on. There's some really fun things to chat about. I'm sure you were listening in on Dan talking about his high school program and the high school championships across the country. Tell me that isn't exciting. That's just neat, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. Warm and feelings all around. It's so great. We just need to state that. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he's still growing his program, 50 to 60 kids per year, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to spread all over the country because as those high school students go off to college and play across the country, we're just going to make it spread. So it's exciting.
Well done.
And hopefully, for too long, there are enough of them traveling and playing that we can get a high school division or two into some outdoor.
Yeah, we've had some junior stuff before, and it's a little bit tough. We only have a handful of the kids there, but actually creating it and calling it a high school division if you wanted to at some point later on. Right now, they're junior divisions. Huntington Beach does okay with it. We've had a few kids come here, but Huntington Beach has been the best one since it's usually during the summertime.
Yeah. Well, when Dan's got 2,500 high school students in his program, we'll talk about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
right.
I know we got a bunch of stuff to cover here, and I know TJ, we appreciate her taking a couple minutes. She's got a big tournament this week too, so she probably want to bring that up for just a minute. So, you want to talk about that first, TJ, and then we can go on to the cup thing for you to be in. We're both doing together with LPRT and 3-wall ball.
Yeah, actually, thanks, Mike. We've got LPRT has 2 big events coming up. We had next week, the 16th, we head down to Vero Beach and for very first tournament, Tier 1, hosted by Suzy Monchik and Veronica Sotomayor. And then Stuart Solomon is hosting us again this year at Boston the first weekend of March. So we've got 2 up-and-coming events. We'll be streaming everything, so tune in.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Then the next exciting thing is the reason TJ's here along with me to announce the fact that we've created a kind of a neat thing. I feel it is anyway. LPL Financial is helping to sponsor a Ladies Pro Cup. And what that's going to do is have a finishing with the participants from Beach Bash, Huntington Beach, and Vegas. And we've got $4,000 in prize money and a 2-night suite stay. So first place will get a nice chunk of money, second place and third place by getting accumulated points for just playing in those 3 events. It's $1,500, $1,000, and $500 on top of winning prize money at each event this year. So we did that to entice some more women to get involved in the outdoor. We've had a number of the women participate over the years, but we'd like to tell them how much we appreciate them being there and create something a little bit new. We were lucky enough to get Roscoe to buy into that. We're also doing the same thing, trying to put something together for the men as well. But right now we're focused on the women. Hopefully before the season starts, we'll have a men's cup in place as well. But women's is going to be awesome. I think it'll drive interest in there. And TJ, what's your feelings on it?
Oh, well, I think that was the purpose of creating it. Mike and I talk all the time, about once a week, right? Mike, but
well, more than you ever expected you were going to, I'm sure.
Yeah. But just in trying to work together with LPRT and outdoor racquetball and 3-wall ball, and just trying to find ways to cross promote and really work together and try to get the ladies into outdoor more. And they've a few of the indoor players have tried the 3-wall ball in Las Vegas now, and we'd like to grow that. We'd like to increase participation from the women. And we thought this would be a great way to do it, create a series. And thanks to LPL Financial for the support to do this. Now there's a bonus for those ladies, for those LPRT players and any other pro ladies that step up and want to go out and play. They don't have to play all the events, but the best point totals from playing in those 3 events, singles, doubles, and actually Todd Boss of Pro Racquetball Stats worked out a good ranking system for us, a point system, and he's going to keep all the details for us, and we'll see who comes out on top at the end of 3-wall ball in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
should be exciting.
You've got a great gentleman doing that. Todd is amazing with the stats and such. It just his historical memory and building what you've described to keep track and come up with the winner on this. You couldn't have anybody better doing that. That is really cool. And I like the cumulative effect of it. It encourages them to go play a couple of different ones. And if you can make it to 2 of them, or if you make it all 3 of them, you got a chance to really score some points into it. I like the concept of it. I think that's neat. So
yeah.
Well, and it's all worked out awesome. I'm sorry to interrupt. We've got all these partners. Obviously, WAR is a big part of this. You know, you guys, Mike at USA Racquetball, we're all working together as partners and trying to create more interesting things. As we always say, racquetball is racquetball, indoors, outdoors, 3-wall, 1-wall. Trying to make it fun for everybody, and just jump in there and try to create some new initiative and some more excitement for the game, and obviously to try to help some of the top players cover their expenses for coming there, because all they got to do is be playing in the tournament that they're playing in. They're getting these extra points awarded and the bonus cup there at the end, just as a added thank you for being kind of a Iron Woman, Iron Man of playing tournaments and trying to give something back. And luckily enough, I had one sponsor step up and be involved in that, and then I'll touch on the other sponsors we're going along.
And I mean, it truly is bonus money, because they have an opportunity to earn money or win money at each event individually, but this is bonus. After Vegas, they have a chance to win even more.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah.
True.
Great way to get more money into the game and get more money into the hands of those players that are traveling around and help cover the expenses. I just think it's a win-win all the way around. So, well, Mike,
yeah, it should be great. One of the things to say between Beach Bash, Huntington Beach, and Vegas, and the Cup being involved, we've got about $65,000 in total prize money for those 3 events. So we're bringing the bar up a little higher. Obviously, we'd like it to be more as we go along, because we're always adding more sponsors all the time. But for outdoors to be stepping up and doing this between the different events we have, it's great for the kids to come out and have an opportunity to make a little bit of money and have fun playing outdoors in the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, since Beach Bash is the first one, tell us, Mike, your involvement in that's changed a little bit this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Vic, Vic's obviously, because of health reasons, stepped back a little bit and asked us, Team 3-Wall, to come in and be involved in it a little bit more. And we're doing that this year. We've got Peggy and Jen will be running the tournament desk there. Vic's still helping me out behind the scenes a little bit to make things happen. But Vic also came to Vegas a few years ago and helped us run the Vegas tournament. So we got to interchange pieces, and everybody can jump in and help out. TJ and JT will actually be at Beach Bash and streaming, and I think we're going to be showing that on the LPRT network and also on JT's network and possibly on 3-Wall. I think that's where we're talking about doing things, or possibly even more. We still have to work out some of those details because we're trying to move a little fast and doing some things, but we just want to expose everybody to it. And LPRT has been a great partner. They stepped up. They wanted to have outdoor rankings for the women, so that's why we created the Cup. Beach Bash is going to happen the 24th through the 27th of March. There's men's, women's, singles, doubles, mixed doubles. And then we have some charity stuff involved with the Military Racquetball Federation. Majority of matches, a number of hours. I don't know the exact amount yet, but the week during the event, you'll be able to see posted how many hours will be streaming. But you'll probably have 6 to 8 hours each day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday's usually half day with all the finals. So Beach Bash is going to be a blast, bringing it back, and I'm glad that we were able to step up and help out. We've had a few other sponsors jump in there. MZ AppCon with Teresa and Abel stepped up to be the title sponsor of that event this year. And then we have our other partners from the other tournaments that are all involved in. Everybody who's involved with the stuff with 3-Wall, they're helping at all 3 events that we're doing this year. So it's kind of great, and having everybody get a better exposure for doing that. So Beach Bash will be a blast. And then after that, we got Huntington Beach coming up right after that. And that's Jeff and Jesus, and that's the Nationals down there. And that's going to be the Team Root Nationals again this year. He wanted to do that again and help out with doing that. And then they'll have all the same things going down there in Huntington Beach that they always do. And the Nationals hopefully bring the numbers back up there again. That's also part of the Cup. We'll have the women's and men's divisions in there. I forgot to say, Beach Bash and Huntington will have somewhere between $12,000 and $15,000 in prize money there, spread around the different divisions of that happening. But like I said, Jeff and Jesus are the main directors down there in Huntington Beach. And then we'll finish everything up with Vegas the 26th through the 30th of October. Being that's going to be on Halloween weekend, guess what? We're going to add a little costume contest for everybody to come in and do on Saturday night, along with our normal stuff that we do with the Military Racquetball Federation. Have the charity stuff on Wednesday, Thursday night, ladies night, all other kinds of special events. And full LPRT staff will be here doing the streaming for that event. And hopefully we're working with the IRT as well on getting them together with doing some things that we're doing and having everybody involved. But once again, Keith Miner with KWM Gutterman has decided to be the title sponsor for that event. So we're interacting. All the major sponsors are involved in all 3 events. And also a friend of mine named Andy from AGE is another major sponsor of what we do. He stepped up and and helping us out with the events to help racquetball, because all these title sponsors don't really benefit from their business and doing. They all love giving back to the game that they've all grown up and doing stuff. It's just nice having these big companies step up and be involved. And then Roscoe's stepping up as well with the LPL financially to do the Ladies Cup as a separate thing on doing that. Made it great too. And just a lot of fun stuff happening with outdoor this year. And then you've got the other groups of Michelle and Daryl do everything in Arizona, but they're also the directors for WAR and make stuff happen there. And then you got people up in Northern California, Erica and Butch up there, and those guys doing that. Obviously, I said Southern California with Jeff and Jesus, and then also you got Jody Logan back in Chicago, and then I know Greg Lorenz still does some stuff back in Michigan with some people there. And I don't mean to miss anybody, but those are the key people that I've worked with over the years. I know there's other groups spouting up all the time. And then obviously down in Florida, you got Rob Marajas and Marco still doing a lot of stuff there too. And there's a great group of people that are stepping up to help run Beach Bash as well, and wanting to help out and do some more things and be helping out. Just having, it takes a ton of people to do this. And to be truthful with you, I was a little hesitant of going all the way down to Beach Bash because it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. I got to jump on a plane, and I don't have all the problem solving abilities that I'm used to of calling on friends here to do some stuff with. But it's all coming together down there. And like I said, it's gotten a lot stronger relationship with LPRT on doing this and growing it. So it's been real exciting to do that. WAR obviously with USA Racquetball and you guys has been getting stronger, and just everybody's been coming together behind the scenes. The community of racquetball doesn't know how many people are working together to make things exciting again and trying to pull them off. And the huge advantage that I've got with the outdoor stuff is just what I said, we're outdoors. So when we post a tournament, we don't have to go through all the hoops and jumps that some of the things that you guys get to go through, that we're lucky to make that happen. All we got to do is hope for sunshine and no wind or rain. And I'll take a breath of air.
Yep. And I'm gonna circle back to the trivia question, just because it says Beach Bash and nobody's gotten it yet. One guess was really close. So when was the first Beach Bash happen? We had one guess that was really close. And
2007 was the very first Beach Bash that Vic Lebowski did. Before that, there was a couple tournaments down there that Scott Hirsch did. I got that from Vic earlier today just to make sure that I didn't make a mistake on it. But Vic said his first year was 2007 that he ran and called it Beach Bash.
All right. Well, Raymond was the closest, so we're going to send Raymond a hat. So Raymond, you need to send me your address so I can send it, and we will get it sent off to you. And I'm gonna, while I've got everybody here, we had a winner. Where did it go? There it is. We had a winner that won the hat. It was Chad Bright. Chad, if you're watching the show, I sent your hat to your Alaska address, and it came back to me just a couple days ago. So if anybody knows Chad Bright, have him send me the address. He won a hat, guessed the right answer. I boxed it up and sent it, and it had a really rough trip to Alaska and back. And I'd love to rebox it and ship it back to you. So give me your address. We'll get your hat out to you. So 2007, do you know, Mike, do you know how many players you had? How many were at that event, roughly?
I apologize. I did not remember to check that information, but I would guess that they had real close to 200 because they can only go a little bit over, a little bit under because of the court limitations there. So that event's kind of unique that it has to get capped at a little over 200 because of what the city requires on the court time. So I'd feel pretty safe that it was right in that 200 range.
Yeah.
By saying that.
Well, that's great that they've had that many players and it stayed that popular and kept going. I know Vic, everybody just says Vic does a great job. I've never been able to go to that event, but everybody I've talked to said it's one of the top outdoor events in the country, next to Vegas, of course.
Of course. Thank you very much for. We got to give Rick him his props for down. He's right there on the beach. I'm right there on the strip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all what you want to look for there. You want to do that. You get plenty of heat here while you're here too. But then you got the boardwalk down there at Beach Bash. There's lots of fun things to do. And then, and then Huntington Beach, let's not forget about Huntington Beach. With the family, you just got a little bit of a drive down to the water there. And, you got Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm. I mean, each one of them have their own unique, fun things to do. And, I can't say enough about all three of the events. And that's where I got involved with all three of them years ago when Hank first started doing this stuff. Obviously, the West Coast was easy for me because it was driving distance, but doing all this stuff. But then, like I said, the good part is we got LPRT involved, we got IRT involved, and it just keeps growing and getting a little bit stronger and better. We get a lot of top players that are coming, on the women's side, especially. I think over the years you're going to be hard pressed to find a top 16 woman that hasn't come in at least played one time. Paola's been here a number of times and done it. And then obviously we got our regulars in Rhonda and Michelle and Janelle and Carla. But then there's also a number of other girls that TJ can attest to that have been here over the years. They've come a couple times, and it's definitely a different game of doing stuff. But the beach bash part of it's one wall, and it's completely different than California. You go to their bigger courts there, and in Vegas we have the 3 wall and 1 wall here. So we've got just a bunch of fun to go along with it, and no excuses. You can bring your significant other to any one of these places, and they got a lot of fun stuff to do other than just being at the racquetball court for a minute while you're winning or losing. And just playing, having a good time here in Vegas, especially, we get away with even more because nothing ever closes up 24 hours a day for 5 days. You need to get some rest before you get here and get some rest when you get home, because sleep is a very minimal thing during the days of the tournament. Not because of just the tournament, but how many other fun and exciting things we do to go along with it to make it fun for everybody. And as you can see, I put the poster up behind me for the Road to Vegas this year that we made, and a bunch of number of the sponsors are on there, but that's also on our website and has all the information on there with it. So we're kind of excited about that, and going to be adding a bunch more fun and neat things to do with the outdoor the whole season long as we're going into it. We're just moving fast, and like you guys with your upcoming events, same thing for us. March is 6 weeks away and doing stuff. And I'm still trying to talk. I'm going to put TJ on the spot finally and ask, did you make your decision? Are you coming down to Beach Bash, or do you have too many things to do?
I did not make my decision yet.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
You did put her on the spot there.
Yeah, been easy going about it.
But I will say I do it every single day. So still a possibility, still a good possibility. We'll see.
Yeah, good. Well, we still got 6 weeks to go. It's no big deal, but I figured today I'd put you on the spot and go, wow, that wasn't nice, Mike, but hey.
She's going to put me on the spot. You were like, yeah, she's going. Yeah, she's going to be there.
Hey, you got a busy schedule with all the things that you do, and I greatly appreciate all the support we get. Everybody's got busy schedules on doing it, so sometimes they don't always fit.
Yeah,
it's a busy schedule and a lot of travel, and it's nice to take a weekend off here and there. Well, we've gone. This is fantastic information. I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and talking through what the new LPRT Cup's going to be, when the events are, and what's coming up. And for everybody watching, we'll have Mike back on a couple more times to talk about Huntington Beach, and certainly a few times to talk about 3-wall ball before that comes around. So we'll let you guys go. And again, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Several comments from people watching on what a great job you guys both do. So congratulations, and we will talk to you again soon.
I appreciate everybody on here. TJ, thanks for your time. Busy week coming up. Good luck and have fun down at your LPRT stop in Florida. Mike, stay warm. Maurice, I know you're back on the East Coast. It's beautiful in Atlanta, so you're living the life. And hopefully you schedule October 26th through the 30th on your calendar. I'll tell you pencil's okay for now, but before summer, it better be in pen.
And bring your Halloween costume.
Well, Maurice says that he and I are playing in 3-wall ball.
We did.
There you go. Hey, I already just a quick note. Connor says he's going to come dressed as a famous racquetball player, and that you would appreciate that more than anybody.
I love it. Thank you.
All right.
If he's watching, he'll get a kick out of that. He sent me the 1-finger salute to tell me how great it was. I thought it was a thumbs up.
That's perfect, Mike. Perfect.
We'll leave it with a laugh. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Awesome. Yes.
What a great way to end that. Well, Maurice, we've taken up an awful lot of time from everybody. We're just over an hour now, so we will wrap this up. I want to invite everybody to Game 37 Monday. Let's see, it will be February 21st.
Yep.
Is the next show. So everybody put that on your calendar. Get on a court, play some racquetball. Be sure and reserve the court when you get on it.
Yep.
Check out the newsletter on the 15th.
Yep.
And
like and share the feed. Like and share the feed. Share it. Bring someone on the court. Hashtag Racquetball Month. Hashtag get Mike Wedel on the racquetball court. And yeah, that's everything for me.
All right. Well, have great chatting again, Maurice. Always
Absolutely,
fun. And everybody else, we will see you again shortly.
Yep. Night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.